SOFTECH. I'm Vikramaditya here. Let's get started with the basic program. I'm going to write a very simple program which actually uses a local class. So we're going to now create a program and we're going to write a simple local class and see how it works. This is the first session of hands-on on ABAP object-oriented programming. So let's get started. So we need to go to other ABAP repository objects, and here we need to create a program. Here I'm going to create a program. So this is a program, ABAP program, and I'm going to write a local class. So local class, we have two types of classes. One is local class, another is the global class. So we're going to build global class, and that's how actually we use in our programs. But right now, for our understanding, we are starting with a local class, wherein we are going to write the class within the program. So local class demo. This is local class. Go for next. Finish. Now here, this is our program wherein I'm going to write a simple class. Okay, so here I'll write class C1 definition, class C1 definition, and class C1 end class. Basically, whenever we create a class, we'll have two components. One is the definition part and there is the implementation part. Now we're going to write simple definition right now, and we don't need the implementation for this particular class in this particular program because we are not getting the implementation part. We're not having the implementation part of it. So we'll go ahead and declare a simple attribute, but whatever we declare, we have to declare in three sections: either public section, private section, or protected section. So I'm going to use only public section here in this demo. So data, and I'm going to write a of 10. So I'm giving a length of 10. Type C. Even if you don't write type C, it will still be type C. We all know that. And then this is it. And I'm going to also give a value of, say, Vikramaditya. Now, if I type Vikramaditya, this length will not be sufficient. So I'll make this as 15. And then this is a class C1 definition. And in the name of the C1, we can have any name of your choice. And you can try with a different name as well. And the same thing with A. A is a variable for us. So you can give your own name, whatever you want. But rest of all the things are pretty much the syntax. Now, once we have a class, as I said we also need to have an implementation, but in this case, we don't need that because I have not declared any methods. So the moment we have a method in the class, we are going to have it for sure. We're going to we mandatorily need the implementation part, which we are going to see in the next coming example. Okay, so let's get this been done. So once we create a class, whether it might be a global class or a local class, we need to create an instantiation of a class. Instantiation is a kind of a copying all those properties, but which can be used in our program. At this point of time, you can just refer to it as like we create a structure and then take the properties to the internet table and then start using it in the program, right? Similar to that, we have a class needs to have an instantiation, and the instantiated element is called object. So we're going to create an object now. So we are going to have a declaration of object, obj type ref to C1. This is a syntax to create the object. So, and then this is the program at the 16th line, the actual program stats. So the class which we have declared before that can be within the local class, or it can be a global class as well. So now here we'll go ahead and use startup selection. This is an event that we have to use, so that we are going to tell to the system that this is where the actual program starts. It's an event. Now we have to create object. We're going to create an object here, obj. That's the name that I have given. So it can be any other name as well. Now, once we create an object, it takes the instantiation of all the properties of the class. So obviously, object will also have the same thing. Now, what I'll do is I'll write a simple write statement here. Write obj, that's the object name, mapping towards the class, the attribute A. Now A has been declared here, and we also have a value for that, and now I'm just typing it. That's it. You can just try this out. This would be your first program, the object-oriented programming. Syntax check done, activation done, and I'm going to execute this, run as an ABAP application. And here you go. This is the output that we have been looking at. Now, once this is done, so you just have to type this in the editor, and make sure that you practice this for sure. Otherwise, it will be difficult to get too many concepts down the line. Okay, so now we're going to add a method. The moment we add a method to a class, we have to have a implementation of it. Why? Because method is where we are going to write all the logic. So if I just have to, I'm just adding one line here, methods M1. So here in the declaration part, we'll write methods, and here we're going to have this. Once the moment we write methods, the system will actually start throwing an error. It says, if you observe here, class C1 definition does not have a class C1 implementation, right? So we're going to do that. We're going to implement that now. So I'm going to simply write class C1 implementation. Now, just in case everyone is interested to know the theory part, theory is always available anywhere in the internet. Just type it and you get it. Implementation. We need to get the spelling right here. Okay. Class C1. Okay, now here end class, we're going to have this method M1, then end method. Done. So I'm just going to give a very simple write statement, nothing much here. So I am M1 being called from C1 class. That's it. Okay, so now once I write a method in the class, then we're going to call that method. So how we're going to call this method is what we are going to see now. So we will actually go ahead and say call method. There's a shortcut for this as well. We're going to explore the latest syntax as well later. So call method, obj, that's the object name, and M1 is the class name, the method name, sorry. So once we have done that, activating it. So now what happens here is like you can't write statement on M1 because it's a method, right? So what we have to do is we have to call method obj M1. That's done here. And so the logic that I've written in the 18th line will be executed once I'm calling this method. Got it? So I'll show that in the debugging mode as well later. So here you go. Everything comes in the same line. So we all know how to get into the next line. I'm just typing slash and here colon. That's it. Done. And here is your output. Done. Coming in the next line. That's it. Okay, so we're going to explore more features of object-oriented programming in the coming session. Thank you.